Good evening to DeFiChain News on the 7th June 2023, the news show that provides you with the latest updates on DeFiChain project. If you like the show, then let's go crazy on the like button. It helps the project, subscribe and click the bell button. And stay until the end because we will discuss the next shows and dates. Afterwards, we also have some time to answer your questions, so please put them here in the chat. And today I'm alone. So last week I was on vacation. This week Mark is traveling. Have a great time in Europe and see you soon here on stage. Today I will handle everything on my own and will talk about what happened on DeFiChain last week. So I arrived between Monday and Tuesday, and yesterday I needed some time to get all the things happened in our ecosystem in the last week. And I have the following headlines for you prepared, and we directly jump into the topics. So we will talk about DeFi Meta Chain Testnet, the most wanted topic in our community. I will give you a short summary about the voting round. For sure, our notable mentions are part of the show and the community projects with the updates. And the last point are the future dates, so what's happening next here on the channel. And with this, let's jump into our first topic, DeFi Meta Chain Testnet. We finally have a date on Friday. The testnet should go live Friday, end of day, Central European time. There was also a tweet today from Julian. I put link into the show notes. So with this, we should have a really stable testnet for DeFi Meta Chain. Sure, if now something happens in between, a big bug is found or something else, then this could be postponed. But the plan is to have it live running on Friday, and the devs are really working hard to have a stable testnet for you. The one or other recognize that the floppy net is nice to try something out, but it's not really stable, and let me explain why this is the case. So the floppy net was launched with not feature complete, means the one or other feature was just partially implemented, and the devs are programming on it, and every commit was more or less a new node release, was running then, testing and checked if it's really working in a way that they want to have. I asked them also about which bugs were found from the community. From one, I'm really sure it was found by Kugi. It's regarding the nonce. So if you had MetaMask, you wanted to send some DFI on the DeFi Meta Chain Testnet or floppy net, it could happen that the transaction was marked as invalid, and that happened when the nonce was greater than the expected one. The blockchain rejected it because the queuing function was not implemented fully. Now it's done, it's finished, it should work latest with the activation of the testnet, so around Friday this bug should gone forever and be fixed. The rest of the bugs were all regarding an incomplete implementation of the rollback function, so that here you recognized it some days and weeks before. The floppy node was not available because they tried to do rollback and it didn't work. So here they also finished the work, testing now. And if you have tried out the floppy net with MetaMask, you see that your DFI are gone again because in the night or today, early morning in European time zone, they made again a rollback to the last hard fork, I think it was, and with this, everything you have done before is now gone again. That's really ugly if you want to implement and program. So I think everyone is waiting for the testnet, which is then more stable and you can really program and build on it. If you are running a node software on the current floppy net, so till Friday, please be aware you have to sync again. You can use the last snapshot which you used before. Everyone else, you can also wait till the testnet, and then let's go and start building. I also made a Twitter poll again. I think 2 weeks ago I made one and asked, okay, are you using DeFi Meta Chain already with the floppy net, with the testnet then, or are you waiting for the mainnet? The participation was a little bit less compared to the first one, so roughly 300 persons give me feedback. 25 users already tested the floppy net on, or DeFi Meta Chain on the floppy net. Another 30 persons will use it or check it out the next days. But we also see that the main part of the community, nearly 50%, is waiting for the mainnet, where you have the really productive system where it counts which coins you are trading, moving, handling, and what you are building. So in the testing framework you can play around, and then on the mainnet it's the real thing. I'm really looking forward to the testnet. More stable, more projects can then start really building on it. And I think then everyone out there interested in building on the EVM layer of DeFiChain, that's your starting point. Testnet, try it out, test it really, because everything reported in this time before the mainnet is live can be fixed. So the more users are trying out it, the better or is then the mainnet, the quality is improved. So I think the devs need us as a community building on DeFi Meta Chain. That's all for today regarding DeFi Meta Chain. I'm pretty sure next week I can give an update what's happening. But now we come to our second point, a short status of the voting round. On the weekend, the last voting round concluded. So we had 3 DFIPs. 2 were approved. One was regarding the delisting of D tokens or on our DEX. When the ticker is delisted, for example Credit Suisse, if it's not public traded anymore, then we don't have an Oracle price feed. What should we do then? So there was a DFIP, it's approved. I'm looking forward to a proper and secure delisting of D tokens. In this case, we have an adaptation of DUSD locks from Kugi. So it was a DFIP in the past. He adapted it now slightly and it's approved again. And the last DFIP was rejected. It's regarding enhancing the quantum bridge liquidity with the help of the community fund. That was not approved by the masternodes. Also participated 3 CFPs, all were approved. Congrats to the community projects, to the approved CFPs. Now they are getting the funds and can further build on DeFiChain. With the on-chain governance, that's now our procedure from beginning this year till whenever we want, is before or after a voting round is before and is starting the next one, means on the weekend directly the next voting round started. In this we only have 1 CFP from my DeFiChain, but 7 DFIPs. Have a look on DeFiScan. Every masternode owner, you can now vote. You could vote before, but now it's the voting round, and the votes will count till the 19th of July. So you have a couple of weeks left to vote on these proposals. And if you have an idea for a community fund proposal or a DeFiChain improvement proposal, then you can submit the proposal for the next voting round till the end of this cycle, means till the 19th of July, because then next voting round will start. And in this scheme now, we conclude one voting round after another. That's all regarding the voting round. We will see in July what happened there. Then we come to our notable mentions. In this category, we summarize a little bit the smaller points, so what happened also or what will happen on DeFi chain. First point is also regarding the testnet going live on Friday. For sure, the biggest part is DeFi Meta Chain, but there was also a small pull request from Kugi regarding an update for re-enabling the DUSD loops for the DUSD staking. That should be also integrated then into the testnet, so it can be tested there if it's working again. If there's a flag set, and if the flag is set, you can mint also DUSD with DUSD vaults. So in this case, the 50% DeFi share is no longer needed. Also looking forward to this feature. Next point, our DUSD collateralization factor finally reached the value of 1.00. Means now one DUSD is worth $1 in a vault. We started at $1.20 and we reduced it once a day by 0.5 cent. So it lasts some days and weeks, and now finally we reached the value. We are now stable on the desired value. Nothing will change here. It was also a defib some months ago. And the last point, if you missed it, Lord Mark did a fireside chat with Prasanna. If you want to learn more about Prasanna, where is he born, where he comes from, a little bit less on the technical side, a little bit more on the person side, have a look. It's really worth. Link is also on the show note if you cannot find it here in the YouTube channel. That's all notable mentions, and now we come to our favorite topic of the show, community projects and their updates. And we start with the more or less sad news. DeFiChain Trader, the one or other know this project, DeFiChain-trader.com, announced that he will no longer work on his project. He will maintain it till April next year, so it will run a couple of months now. It will not further improved. And after April next year, he don't want to maintain it any longer. He has something other in mind, and yeah, he's now searching for someone interested in taking over this project and keep it alive. I would really appreciate if the one or other is out there and interested in working on it. I also used it, DeFiChain Trader. You can set up some trigger signals, and you are getting Telegram push notifications if it happens. For example, if a bigger amount of DSD were swapped, or if there's movement on an address. Really great features on our DeFiChain DEX. Yeah, contact him if you're interested in handling the project. You can also join the Telegram group, link is in the show note, and raise the other hand and say, here I'm interested, which skills do I need, what must be done. Would be really great if this project will not more or less die next year and will further work. DEX is a good keyword. Next community project, or it's more like a competition, DEX Trading Masters. So they started 3 weeks ago. The average gain of the 8 participants was around 30%. Really great work, and chapeau to place number 1, Max L. Yesterday or 2 days ago, his gain was 93%. So he nearly doubled his 500 DUSD. That was the starting invest in just 3 weeks. A really great, really great success. I don't know if it's just luck or how he found out to trade the right stocks, but it shows you can use the DEX in a great way if you are a trader. Check out also the latest tweet, link is in the show note. And if there's another trading competition round, participate and try it out. I think it's really worth. Vault Maxi also had an update, and they now published two small graphics regarding the DUSD volumes. So now if you are interested in the buyings and sellings of DUSD, you can check out their website. Link is also in the show note, and you can distinguish between organic buys and sells, so just buying and selling by users, or algorithmic buys and sells. The buys are coming from the buy and burn bot, which uses the DFI from the block rewards to buy DUSD, and the sells are coming from Cake with the yield vault. So they are getting DUSD from the negative interest rate, and they have to swap it back to DFI or to Bitcoin or whatever the user had invested. In the market, next topic in our list here, published a new edition of their newsletter. It's Paddy who is working on it. The topics of the newsletter are the further development of the website DeFiChain.com, the Q function of the Grandon Bridge, impact of Jelly token on the DeFi price, an official documentation of the Floppynet, and a short summary of the German DeFi chain community Twitter space. If you are interested in the newsletter, link is also in the show note in a German version or in an English version, and subscribe to the newsletter. Paddy is here also summarizing the one other thing happening in our ecosystem, so it's also a good source to keep up to date what's happening around DeFi chain. And now we are moving a little bit to DeFi Meta Chain. Next project is the NFT marketplace DZ, DSEA. He's also working on the Floppynet, trying out how the NFT marketplace can be launched on the EVM layer. But unfortunately, the Floppynet is not stable enough. I mentioned it before, there are rollbacks, so everything you build is gone again. So they are waiting for a really stable testnet, and then they are building on this EVM layer, and they will launch some cool new features. So be curious, stay up to date, follow them on Twitter. I put a tweet also in the show notes. And if you are interested in NFTs, there will be for sure new collections, and that can be traded on this marketplace. And the last project for today is Jellyverse. We had it 2 or 3 weeks ago. They have published a Reddit post. Link is also in the show notes, and they will launch their Jellyverse with 4 different projects. It will be released one after the other. First will be JellySwap, which is DEX based on a balancer protocol. So balancer protocol is a little bit different to our pools. It supports up to 8 tokens per pool. Then they will launch JellyStake, which is a staking protocol, not a consensus staking, so it's not proof of stake. They are building on the DeFi Meta Chain, but where you can put on the Jelly token, stake them, and you can earn more Jelly token, but also Bitcoin and Ethereum. Really nice. Maybe also other tokens which are coming from the fees. And there will be for sure also a freezer function, so you're getting more rewards if you lock your funds for a certain time. Third point will be a stablecoin JUSD, the peg mechanism based on the proven liquidity protocol. Collateral ratio will be 110%, so less than the vaults on DeFi chain. They will accept Bitcoin, Ethereum, DFI, and JLY as collateral. So the Jelly token will be interesting how this will play out. And with DFI as collateral, it will support the demand of DFI. Last product will be Jelly Bond, a bonding protocol. They will start with JUSD, but also other tokens can be applied later on. And the idea is to get a kind of yield on your tokens. I would say really worth to follow them. Link to the Reddit post, like mentioned before, is in the show notes. And in the Reddit post, scroll down at the end. There you see the links to all the social media channels, Telegram groups, YouTube, Twitter. Follow them, and then you stay up to date regarding what's happening on the project regarding launching on DeFi Meta Chain. That's all for today. I hope you find one or other topic which you have not heard before. If you want to stay updated, future dates, what's happening next, next week, Wednesday, will be for sure our news show with the latest updates on DeFiChain and DeFi Meta Chain. And we originally planned to have a tech talk tomorrow with Prasanna. Sadly, we have to reschedule them. Will be launched in 2 weeks. Next week I cannot host it, and this week Prasanna is fully loaded with work regarding launching DeFi Meta Chain on Friday. And I said, okay, before you cannot hold the date, we postpone the tech talk and do it afterwards. So focus on bringing DeFi Meta Chain live on the testnet. With this, thanks for joining the show live. If you have a couple of minutes left, put your questions in the chat. I have also some time left to answer them. Give us a like, everyone watching it not live. Thanks for watching it, joining our journey to DeFi Meta Chain, and see you soon next week here with the next news show. Have a great time. See you soon. Bye bye. Okay. Here we are. Jackie Dalshim is on fire. Yes. I think now DeFi Meta Chain is coming closer and closer with the testnet. I'm really looking forward who is really building on it. I think the one or other ideas are out there, but people are waiting to really can try it out, and then yeah, they will announce for sure if it's working. Christian Pedersen is also here, like in the German show, always participates in both. Nakosana Zibi, good evening family from South Africa, also a regular guest here. Thanks for joining in again. Thanks for updates. I like this community because it's always active, trying all means to give us a lucrative outcome. Thanks a lot. We try our best to be active. Honestly speaking, I have the feeling the bear market is now a little bit pushing the activity down, but I'm really looking forward to DeFi Meta Chain, because I think here we can see another rise and an increase in the activity. This EVM layer gives us the opportunity for everyone to build without this hard forks and updates. Before, we are related on the core developers. They have to work on the code, they have to publish the node software, then everyone has to update it, we have to make a hard fork. So the whole procedure was very inefficient, but very secure. Yeah, it's like Bitcoin, everything is native on the UTXO side. And with the EVM layer now, everyone can build on its own, can publish it, can transfer from Ethereum side to DeFi chain. I'm really looking forward what the people try out, and yeah, how it plays, and I really have to focus here on yeah, what brings value in our community, in our DeFi chain ecosystem. Great. Any further questions from you? Let me check. Okay, here DeFi is being burned. What is target to leave? Total supply as The total supply was 1.2 billion DeFi. We already have more than 1 billion. So only a couple of DeFi left for the rewards, means staking rewards or liquidity mining rewards from the block reward side. And yeah, the block rewards are decreased every 11 days, so it's similar to Bitcoin halving, just a shorter time frame, and the decrease is not a halving, it's just a slight decrease of what was this, 1.8%. So it will last now for another 8 years, and then we reach the final value of the total supply. Idea is to have now more and more things with this real yield approach, means the rewards are not coming from new DeFi from block rewards, they are coming from fees, means transaction fees, fees from trading, the DEX fees, whatever you can think, and that's the way we want to go. If the total supply is reached. Christian Pedersen is asking, next week you are together, you and Mark? Honestly speaking, I don't know. I have to ask Mark. He has now a traveling journey more or less the next weeks, and it depends a little bit where he is, if he can join in or not. I have to clarify and check with him in this week now. If not, I will try to manage it again. For sure, you stay up to date here, and you get all the information you need regarding DeFiChain, DeFi Meta Chain, and what else is going on in our ecosystem. Great. Thanks for the one or other question. I hope it helps you. Have a great time. Check out DeFi Meta Chain if you are interested in building, in programming smart contracts. And then see you soon here on the channel on Wednesday next week with the next episode of DeFiChain News Show. Have a great time. Bye bye.